Hey guys, I wanted to film a quick video just talking about the basic, like what happens when I switch. Like what um, does making a cup look like now that I've decided to switch from epoxy to the epoxy free method that I've been using for the last few months, which is Crystalac. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how that transition went and what differences I see and what you should be aware of before you switch. Now, the main reason for switching for me was that the Crystalac products are water-based, which means there's no chemical reaction from mixing or doing anything like that that releases vapors that are dangerous to myself and my family and my cat. I don't have like good ventilation or the ability to go outside because all the temperamental weather here in the Midwest, it just wasn't going to work. So I'm trying this out and I really am liking it and I think I'm going to stick with it. So that's the main thing. You know, you don't have to wear, the full face respirator, or worry about all of that. So I do wear gloves and I think it might be probably good to wear like just one of the basic masks. I don't always, but I'm still sort of figuring that out. So the main difference is you can pretty much do everything the same. Okay, so to make a basic glitter cup, you're going to sand. You're going to prep your cup. That's step one, right? Prep your cup. Sand it, wash it. I have a video of me doing that. It's like so simple if you've never done it. But you're going to sand it, prep it, let it dry thoroughly. Then you need your base color. So you can use your spray paints if you have them. If you still have them, use them. I think they work great. I think it's so easy to find, matching colors to go with your glitter. And it's, not very expensive, right? You can get it for like $4 and you can do several cups with it. So that's a good option. However, I can't, spray paint in my house. So you have to have an outdoor place to do it. I always wear a mask when I'm spray painting because it gives me headaches. The other option is you can use the universal white if you want a white base. And they also have pigments you can buy to change the colors. I don't use those quite yet, but once I do, I'll let you know and how they go. It is kind of hard to get this like fully streak free. I'm still working on the best way to do that, so I'll keep you posted. But if you're going to use your spray paints or anything solvent based that comes from a spray can, you have to let it do its off-gassing chemical reactions before you apply the Crystalac. Right, there's while it dries, it releases chemicals. Okay, so you have to wait like 24 to 48 hours before moving on. So if you want to save time, check out the universal white. If you're good with your spray paint, if you're happy with it, just know you spray paint, you have to wait the 48 hours before you start moving on. The layers are very thin, so you're going to be doing several more layers than you would with epoxy, right? Maybe you were doing a cup that was 2-3 layers and then that was it. If you're going to use the Crystalac products, it's going to be more like 8, 9, 10 layers total to get your cup done. Now, before you freak out, the layers are very thin and they only need to like 2 to 4 hours to dry in between. So, and they actually take about approximately 4 minutes to apply. There's no mixing. You literally just squirt it on, spread it around, and let it spin for an hour. And then you can transfer it off your turner to a drying rack and get started on another cup. So the process is very quick. So if you have, I'm home with my kids, so I can, pop in and out to do cups, to do layers during the day. But mostly I do one in the morning, one after work, and after my husband gets home from work, and one before bed. You could do probably 4 layers if you got up earlier or stayed up later, which would get your cup done in about 3 days. So I don't know that it really adds much more time, but it is different. So I wanted you to know that. So they're very thin, they go very quick, and you can reapply every 2 to 4 hours. I like to wait more like 4. I think my coats are a little heavier, but that's just me. Okay, so those are the main differences. So what you're going to do to make a basic glitter cup, that's what I'm talking about right now, just glitter, is you're going to sand and prep, you're going to wash, you're going to dry that, then you're going to do your base color. Whether you're using spray paint or universal white, that's up to you. Now, to apply your glitter, you can use Mod Podge, you can use Loctite, you can use the epoxy method, but without epoxy, right? You can use the extreme protection or the bright tone to do that either on your turner or on the hang method. So you can do all of those things. But if you're going to do the Loctite, you need to wait 48 hours. So if you spray paint, you're waiting 48 hours. Then you use your Loctite, then you're waiting another 48 hours. So that's why using the compatible products will just save you more time. But if you have it and you want to use it up, there's no sense in throwing it away. That seems silly. So, you can keep your cups going, have a little rotation if you wanted to do that. Okay, then you want to seal your glitter. You probably already did this. If you use your clear coat, fine. Mod Podge is fine. I think most people prefer the E6000 because sometimes if you don't let Mod Podge dry long enough, it doesn't work very well with the products. So I've been using the E6000, but I have used Mod Podge as well. And it works just fine. But again, then if you use your clear coat, you're waiting another 48 hours. So it's really up to you, but you can use the materials you already have. Once it's all sealed, you're going to then start sealing with either extreme protection or bright tone. I'm using the extreme protection now for my first few layers because I have it and I bought it and I'm not going to let it go to waste. But I think bright tone is a much better product and it will get you your cup done faster, but it is more expensive. So you have to decide. If you look at my other video talking about what you need for your cup, I talk more about that. So I recommend going back and looking at that video. Okay, so you're going to apply layer after layer after layer after layer. Okay, and it's going to take several before you get a smooth surface, okay, to get up over the glitter. But you can sand every 3 to 4 layers to help you keep that smoothness. And you're going to want to use a higher grit sandpaper, like 400 grit or even higher, just to smooth it out. So hopefully that helps clear up a few things. The total cure time could be up to 30 days. Now, it is okay for light use after about, 4 or 5. So if you're going to give it to a customer, after 4 or 5 days, you might, want to be sure they know that it's light use. Like treat it like glassware, like very light, hand wash only, don't drop it, all those things. And if they can, the longer they wait to use it, the better. Now, most cups don't take the full 30 days, but it can, depending on the number of layers and how thick your layers are and your temperature and all those things. So, I've had a few that were ready sooner, but I did have a couple that took, the 30 days before they were like, you could tell, like if you put your fingernail in the cup, it would dent until that 30 days. So you don't want that. But if you use light layers and less amount of layers, or the more time you have in between drying, the total amount of cure time will be less. But you can use it before that 30 days. It just continues to harden. So like I did this cup and my last layer was yesterday and it's totally smooth, able to be touched. But I won't use it for several days, and I will instruct the new owner to not use it for probably 2 weeks, just to be safe. You want it to last long. So anyway, hope that helps. Please comment below if there's anything else I can clear up for you, and I hope you enjoy the products as much as I do. Let me know if you do. Let me know if you don't. I'm curious as to see what other people's experience is.